Watamuli. Watamuli means welcome, greetings and goodbye in my Birri-Dubba language spoken by the Bindal people. And I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Walgarookaba people. That Currajong State School stands on this land belonging to the Walgarookaba people. So today I'm just doing an acknowledgement of the country to recognise the elders of the Walgarookaba people, the Bindal people, and also your people, your elders. Every one of you in this classroom, I'd like to say welcome and acknowledgement, and to say thank you to Currajong State School for celebrating our NAIDOC. The theme this year is always was, always will be. And if you look that up, or your teachers might be able to explain to you, that probably means always was, always will be Aboriginal land, Aboriginal country. So I'm hoping that you enjoy the week's activities that your teachers have prepared for you, that you all get involved, because it's so important that we share the rich culture of the Aboriginal people and the Torres Strait Islander people of this country. So once again, Watamuli, and have a wonderful NAIDOC week.
Watamuli everyone, my name's Wesley. I'm the artist who has painted the mural that you see here today. I'm also a former student from Currajong State School, so it's a real privilege to be back here at the school where I grew up. Went all the way from prep down the back there, where I did a mural as well, all the way through to grade 7. And today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the stories behind these artworks. So my Aboriginality comes from my father, who was a Stolen Generation member, and he grew up in the Blue Mountains, which are the Darug and the Gundungurra people. And so I also pay my respects to the Walgarookaba and the Bindal people, the land that we are in Townsville. Where Currajong School is positioned, it has a beautiful view of Castle Hill, and there's a local Dreamtime story about the hill area that Uncle Russell Butler Sr. has gifted to the Townsville history. All the murals that I've done in the school are connected to tell one story, and this story has since been recognised and contributed to the Jazeen Barracks development sites and the Strand revamp about the strong cultural significance of that area, Garabara. There were fish traps there, and there were trade routes as well. And this has been covered in the bush tucker pole images of canoe and a fish trap. And in the centre is a circle of the wall where it depicts the water flowing, which is represented by the flowing dots. These can also be referenced in the Osh wall mural for the water creatures, where there is a sawfish and a large barramundi. The story itself relates to the Strand area and the other tidal waterways throughout Townsville, namely the Ross River and the Ross Creek. The dingo to the right and the kangaroo to the left are the central themes to the story, who follow on from a creation story by Gubble, the large dreaming carpet snake. Gobblemunda can be seen on the Osh ground mural as well. The last kangaroo had not found his place yet to call home, so he hopped along in a mad hurry to settle, as he was not satisfied with the rainforest. So he made his way to the coast, and there he encountered the dingo, who wanted to eat him. The dingo pursued him, and where he jumped off the edge of Gullyman, which is Cape Cleveland, the dingo did not jump in after him, and the kangaroo, still taunting him to this day, forever poking his head out of the water. But the dingo remains ever present, staring at him. His paws perched are the Melton Terrace area on the hill, and his head and shoulders are the lookout. His backbone is the road part where you drive up to, and his back legs are Yarrawonga Point. His tail runs down and leads out into West End. When you are looking at Castle Hill from the north, this is how you can visualise the story. This story is a great example of how Aboriginal people use coded language to reveal an ancient way of the world's first GPS type of communication. The landmarks and imagery would aid and help people understand the landscape of having significant value to the younger generation to know where places were simply by remembering the story of these two animals. Most Dreamtime stories are not just religious views or something for the children before they went to bed, but had hidden meaning and principles attached that can still be of value to this day. Some of the applications can be quite simple, but they show the value of passing on this knowledge.
Hello, my name is Braden Bindo and this is Jamal Shibasaki and Calvin Covey. We would like to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the country in which we are gathered on here in Townsville, the Wulgurukaba people. We also want to acknowledge the Bindal country who many of us travel across each day. We acknowledge and pay respect to the elders here both past and present and ask for their guidance through our journey. We are past students of Currajong State School and we all look back fondly on the time we spent in primary school. We are now students at Ignatius Park College and in the last couple of years have started getting involved in Torres Strait Islander dancing at the college. Being involved is important for us as it allows us to maintain cultural connections to our families and island groups back home. It also exposes more Torres Strait culture in the community and allows us to teach more people around the school about culture through dance. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, many functions around the country are being jeopardized unfortunately. This includes many NAIDOC Week events. However, we are hoping that by filming a couple of dances for you today, the students at Currajong State School can still watch and enjoy some Torres Strait Islander culture for your virtual NAIDOC celebrations. We hope you enjoy.
Kapuko, which means good afternoon in my Kalalagaoya language, from the Central Islands in the Torres Strait. My name is JJ and I'm the 2020 Cultural Leader at Currajong. The 2020 NAIDOC theme always was, always will be, which represents that Australia is First Nations people land and that Australia will always be Aboriginal and Torres Strait land. We were here when time began. We are part of the dreaming, past, present and future. Science and scientists has found that some of the Indigenous Australian sites are among the oldest on this planet. This year, my aka, meaning grandmother, has cooked a traditional island kapmari. Kapmari translates to underground oven. Today, we share this culture with our school community. We hope you all enjoyed the traditional food that was prepared and shared with you today, as we made use of our new kapmari pit on the oval. We hope it becomes a NAIDOC tradition and continues for years to come. Thank you for cooking this for our school aka. Events like this take a lot of organising. I would like to extend a massive thank you to all the Currajong staff and NAIDOC committee who have gifted their time and efforts for bringing our NAIDOC celebration into reality, despite how hard it's been this year. Thank you to Aka Dorothy for your acknowledgement to country and wise words to begin our presentation. Thank you to Wesley Stubbings for sharing the Dreamtime stories and explaining the murals you have painted at Currajong. And thank you to the Ignatius Park dancers for your wonderful cultural dance that you have shared with our school community. This year has been extremely different because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, it has still been fantastic to still be able to celebrate NAIDOC at Currajong in 2020, including this online digital ceremony this afternoon. The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people always celebrate through dance. Baker Boy is an Indigenous rapper who won Young Australian of the Year in 2019. His song Marina means let's dance. There's ceremonial dance, celebratory dance, and then there's Marina, to dance with no shame, to freestyle for the sheer elation of dancing. This afternoon, we invite you to dance without shame for the final part of our ceremony today. Eso, and thank you.
Everyone say, hit it, DJ! I'm a proud black jungle boy with the killer flow. Listen to the energy, listen to it blow. Brother boys, jungle boys, of the west from Madam Land. Narrow boy, hindi the laugh without original. Yung balanda bumulgo. Super irangan niya marchigo. Napakadasir, naputo, ripo ko. Malamang muchi, magaman na kabir. Ripo, michigo. Popo yun ang machingan niya go. Quickest mind don't survive with more human brain. Greatest weapon in the globe. Stop the game, education, knowledge is started standing on everyone's shoulders. Teaching yourself as you get older and older. I'm a proud black jungle boy with the killer flow. Listen to the energy, listen to it blow. Young Mala, our music is growing. I'm using my money. The river is flowing. Can you feel the wind blowing? Young Ali Marke, Mia, Kadaramo, Mariuna, 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 Mariuna. Our music is growing. I'm using my money. The river is flowing. Can you feel the wind blowing? Young Ali Marke, Mia, Kadaramo, Mariuna, 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 Mariuna. Mariuna, 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 Mariuna. na marina